Matt.
Hey.
Our new Creality SparkX i7 just came in.
Ooh, it's here? Okay, awesome. So I had asked people in the previous video what they wanted to see in our unboxing. So yeah, I think we should go through some of those comments, get this thing open and see what it's actually about.
Awesome, let's go.
All right.
So far setup, I would say easier than the A1. You don't have to screw anything together really. All you have to do is take off a couple clips and you're good to go.
Okay, so we have a few test prints here now. We have our benchy and we have a waste bucket. First up, looking at the benchy, it's acceptable, but there are some issues. And I think a little bit of that is due to it being a speed benchy. A lot of times with these test prints, they're going for pure speed just to kind of demonstrate how fast the printer is. With that, they do sacrifice some quality. So there are some issues there. And then again, with the waste bucket, overall pretty good, but there is a couple issues here. You can see some waviness on that first layer. There are a few things that we could probably tune out in the slicer. And speaking of that, we're gonna go to some of the comments we had. The main thing is software. I didn't realize how bad I had it until I changed to Bambu. I want to see you print directly from Orca. That's what I want to see. Compare camera quality and check if SparkX i7 has failure detection via camera input. We have calibration / tolerance prints. Try some crazy ones. Does it print flexible filament? We can try that for sure. Head to head with the same multicolored print, same colors at the same time. We want to see who gets done first, who wastes the most, and of course, quality. And that's referring to the Bambu Lab A1, which is a pretty similar printer in this price range. So we have Creality print here. I'm just starting it up for the first time. So there's our printer, just like that. Yeah.
So is Creality print a version of Orca?
Yeah, it is based off Orca and it has a lot of similar functionalities. Someone was saying after switching to Bambu, they didn't realize how bad Creality was, but I'm wondering if they may have been using like an older version. Maybe they were still on Cura with their Ender 3 or something, then switched to Bambu, because Creality these days is actually not bad. I've been using for my K2 and it has pretty much all the functionality that Bambu has. There's not a lot of differences. So yeah, just like Bambu, you can color paint. Just say I want to do multicolor here, draw on whatever you want. All the variable layer heights, you can emboss and deboss. A lot of the same features. If it's on Orca, it's going to be on here basically. But let's set up our benchy here to see if we can improve it. I'm just going to slow down the first layer a little bit. And then beyond that, let's just try out these default standard settings. All right, looks like our print is done here. It does look quite a bit better than the speed benchy, which is great. If it turned out the same, that would be really bad. Those top layers are the biggest difference to me, I would say. It looks overall very good. Like I would say passes the test of a benchy.
The color change transitions look really good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get that like hull line effect when you're switching from one color to the next because it has extra time to cool.
Right.
But it doesn't look to have that issue. Oh, hello.
Yeah, we can see our camera. So that kind of answers one of the questions as well. That camera actually looks decent, at least on the small screen there. Good frame rate, not blurring too much comparing to the A1. The A1 was quite bad. It's not bad at all, totally usable. While we were doing that print, I had the time lapse going. So I took a look at it here. I think it looks pretty good, 720p. So that's not bad, especially for a budget printer like this. Just to get a sense of what's printing on your own print, just to see if there was a failure or something, is sufficient for sure.
Definitely more than enough.
Another commenter asked, I want to see it print directly from Orca. That's what I want to see. Let's pull that up now. Let's see if we can get a print from Orca. All right, let's see if we can add the printer. Unless I missed it, I'm not seeing it on here. Now that doesn't mean they won't add it. It just means it's not on there yet. They do seem to have all the other ones of their popular printers, your K2 series, but that also doesn't mean you can't do it. Might have to do some workarounds or make a custom printer on here. Quickly looking, it does kind of look like people have done it. I'm seeing some on GitHub here. So you definitely can do it, but it's not officially on Orca as of yet.
What else should we print on this? I think there was a comment asking about like a tolerance test.
Yeah, the comment here said calibration/tolerant prints, and specifically the crazy ones. So we found one that I think will be pretty good. So I'm gonna keep it just on the default settings like before. I'm also just gonna slow down that first layer just because that's what I always do. Pretty much just slice it and let it go. So one of the comments was asking about the AI detection features. So let's take a look at what they have here and then we can test them out. So we have spaghetti detection, pressure advance, not really AI, print plate detection as well. So let's test out the spaghetti detection and print plate detection to see if they actually work. Okay, so I removed the plate here. I'm just gonna start the print, see if it recognizes that the plate is missing and hopefully stops itself. The suspense, the slow creeping.
It's kind of sketchy to see it start printing without a plate.
Yeah, like
this feels wrong.
No, this feels very wrong. I've only ever done this by accident once, and
are we about to do it again?
It hasn't really stopped yet. I don't know.
What if this just starts printing?
And it works perfectly? Maybe you don't really need the build plate.
Conspiracy. We have print plate detection as the status currently on this.
Is that what it says right now?
Yeah, so it's probably trying to take an image. It's still going.
Yeah, hasn't stopped itself yet.
I kind of would have hoped it would have stopped by now because I don't really like the idea of the nozzle touching.
Keeps going. Come on. You can do it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It worked, so that's good. It went a little longer than I thought, but it didn't do any damage and it stopped itself. That's all you can ask for, I guess. So that one works.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What if we skewed it slightly?
Like twisted the plate just to see. Put it on maybe like that much of an angle.
It's proceeding to load filament, so it looks like it doesn't have detection for skewed build plates.
It'll detect complete lack of build plate, but slightly askew, doesn't seem to recognize.
Not a huge issue because most cases you're not even working with printable working areas in those corners.
Yeah, let's try the spaghetti detection next.
You got a little tower going.
So our very scientific test, I'm gonna knock it off with a stick. Okay, that dislodged it a bit. Now, hopefully it should start to realize that it's printing into nothing and turn itself off or pause. It's got to pause just in case, like sometimes the spaghetti is acceptable. If it's just stringing a little bit off the side, it might trigger detection. So you should be able to let it know that it's acceptable to your quality and continue. This one won't be, obviously, because it's knocked off.
We'll see how far this goes.
Yeah. Well, I've done this test on several printers. It's usually about a minute.
That is currently what the camera sees. I don't see any reason why this camera wouldn't be able to pick that up. We're gonna finish the print before it even detects it.
I hope not.
Sometimes I wish I could operate like a 3D printer, blissfully unaware of
yeah.
all of the things going
Just
wrong.
working despite everything burning down around you kind of deal. Yeah.
There we go, done.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Perfect print.
Perfect.
Lovely. Okay, so that didn't work.
Let's try it again. Now we've got two little pillars on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock one of them off. See what happens this time. So one's gone.
Start the clock. And this should actually create even more spaghetti because now we've got a model that's getting like filament drawn onto it.
Let's throw on some pre-made spaghetti here, see if that makes a difference at all.
Oh, and now our second pillar has failed.
Okay.
So we are running risks of filament blobs.
That's another test. Come on, more spaghetti. Like, come on, this has to be a noticeable amount at this point. Something's not working right.
I don't think this AI detection is quite working. We'll probably have to reach out to Creality to see what they say.
Yeah, let's call it. It's not working. Now, I know it's not an AI detection feature, but it does have power loss recovery. I want to try that out as well. Well, I have it printing, and I'm just going to pull out the plug on the back, something that could happen by accident, and see if it can recover itself. So just leave it unplugged for a couple seconds and then plug back in. All right, looks like it's starting, and it detected some power loss, so I'm just gonna hit OK, hit play as well here, proceed. Okay, it's looking good. A tiny bit of stringing there, but that's because the nozzle just stopped wherever the power went off, and a little bit of filament probably oozed out. It's gonna happen no matter what. Looks like it's purging out the filament now. Probably just discarding any of that filament that was still in the nozzle that was sitting there. You probably will see where it paused, but it does look like it's printing in the right spot, so that's good. One of the comments was asking if you can print flexible filament, so that is what we're gonna try now with some TPU. Our setup here is what we would usually do with any printer is run it from an external spool rather than through its CFS or AMS system. And this is to reduce friction because the flexible filaments on long paths can get all jammed up in there. So it's always best to go straight into the extruder and load. I sent the file off to the printer. It's just getting ready to start the print now, and we'll check on it when it's done. And the print is done, so let's take a look. Overall, I think it looks really good for a TPU print, not bad at all. The side with no letters on it looks absolutely flawless. There are no issues there. The X side, there is a little tiny bit of ghosting. Overall, not too bad. The Y side, now the one corner looks a little under extruded maybe. Maybe the advance pressure or the linear advance is being a little too aggressive here, lowering the extrusion too much. That could probably be tuned out. And the bottom layer actually looks quite good. There are no issues at all there. That kind of looks perfect to me. And the top layer, mostly pretty good. Just a little bit of issues around the lettering there, but that is just about it. That is just a top layer issue that sometimes happens with TPU. If you wanted to know if it can print flexible filaments, the answer is yes, it can, and it does a pretty decent job at it for a budget printer. We have both our prints done here, one from Creality, one from the Bambu Lab A1, and overall they are very comparable. It is hard to see much of a difference. One thing I did notice with the A1 is there is a bit of color bleed, a bit more color bleed actually, because they both have it from the red to the yellow, but it is a little bit more noticeable on the A1, so that's just a flushing volumes issue. But quality wise, very similar. I'm noticing a little bit of banding on both of them, perhaps a little bit more on the Creality printer, but it is hard to judge here. It is very similar, especially in this price range. They're very comparable. They even both have stringing in the same spots, probably due to the filament not being dry enough. It's hard to pick a winner between these two. So yeah, overall, the SparkX i7 has ended up meeting a lot of our expectations. For one of the cheapest multicolor printers we carry, it actually held up pretty well. The stress test score came in at 22 points. The software ecosystem was pretty approachable, and once we got printing, it was honestly hard not to compare this to machines like the Bambu Lab A1. Now, it's definitely not perfect. The CFS footprint is pretty big, and the loose spool setup without motorized rollers still feels a little sketchy, even if we didn't run into tangling issues during testing. And some of the stock slicer presets definitely prioritize speed over quality, especially on those first layers. We had some issues with the AI spaghetti failure detection. We'll get in touch with Creality. Hopefully this can be something addressed in a firmware update. But overall, we think this could be a real contender for people's first printer if they're just getting started, especially for its price point, which looks like it'll be coming in less than the price of an A1 combo. Thank you to everyone who left a comment about this printer. If you have any more questions, we'd be happy to do more tests. We also didn't get a chance to try out Creality's AI creator called CubeMe, so maybe we'll follow up in a short. So what do you think about this printer? Would you be interested in getting one? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.